Alright, so in this video we're checking out the Eachine VR009 FPV goggles. So this is a budget FPV goggle. It's under $50. It's usually about $45 to $50, and you've actually seen this on my channel previously in the Eachine Novice 2 video. So that's the black one here that you saw in that one. I didn't really do a in-depth video on this because it wasn't a separate product at the time, and now it's come out as a separate product. You can buy the goggles by themselves, and this is the box that comes in. Does come with a micro USB cable for charging and an AV cable for AV in and out. So as you can see here, there's a black version and a white version. I'm going to be doing a giveaway for the black version here. If you don't want to wait to the end of the video, the instructions are going to be down in the description. But yeah, this is the one that's going to be given away. I tested the white one here. The components and everything are exactly the same between the two. Just the outer shell color is different between the two, but in terms of all the features, they're exactly the same. Single receiver inside here with dual antennas, so two antennas feed a single receiver, so it's basically antenna diversity. And it comes with your standard whip antennas here. So obviously if you want better reception, I would upgrade the antennas to something else. This uses RP SMA connectors. I'll link a nice long iFlight antenna with an RP SMA connector that you guys could try out. I think that will probably improve the reception. You know, the reception on this is pretty mediocre. I mean, we are dealing with a budget goggle here, so it's not going to be the greatest, and it's not really that bad either. So it's kind of like middle of the road, kind of average. But you know, if you're on a budget and just starting out, this should be totally fine to get you going. Now, you know, what I've been telling people is if they're not sure how they're going to be sticking around with FPV, get something on a lower end of the scale here, like budget related, and then maybe think about what you want to do down the road in terms of whether you want to stick with analog or go with digital. Because I think a lot of people that are perhaps thinking about getting started, but they don't want to invest a lot of money initially, are kind of not really wanting to start out with DJI. Of course, there's a number of you out there I know as well that are like, okay, you know, it is a little bit more pricey, but I can afford it. So, you know, going straight to DJI or digital is totally acceptable for some people. But for others that are a little bit, you know, not so sure, I would recommend going this route here, seeing if you actually like it or not before you actually make the big decision to spend the, you know, $500 to $800 for a good set of goggles plus all the, you know, the receiver equipment, all that kind of stuff. So that's a topic for a different video. I'll probably talk about that in another one. But yeah, for starting out, totally acceptable. This is totally acceptable. Very basic set of goggles here. No DVR. I'll explain how to use the DVR here in a second with the AVN. Micro USB port here for charging. Very simple button operation, power and menu, auto search, band and channel button, and then you have backwards and forward here as secondary options. The screen on here is a 480 by 320 screen. It's 16 by 9 in aspect ratio. It's a 3-inch screen, LCD or LED, I believe, and it's, you know, reasonably bright. You can adjust the brightness a little bit up and down. It's not the most brightest screen I've ever seen. You know, resolution is a little bit on the low side. Again, it is a budget goggle. The way this thing fits, at least for me, it's fine. I have a more shallow angled face here, so this is totally fine for my face. I know that some people that prefer fat sharks like the more sharper angle here, so it's going to be a little bit more narrower, you know, for those with narrower faces. This is actually better in terms of meeting the needs of more people, because while you may have a more narrow face, this will still fit you in terms of your face here on the top and bottom. And then if you have light leakage, you can always add additional foam, probably underneath here. You can just add that as additional foam on the sides to block the light leakage. For me, I don't have any light leakage on the sides or the top, just a slight amount here in the nose area. It does have a pretty decent nose area here. I have a fairly, you know, not a huge nose, but it's a medium-sized nose. I'm not hitting or touching any parts of the plastic here. And the goggle does sit fairly okay. I mean, not the greatest fit for me in terms of the cheekbone area, because it is kind of shorter. So like some of the older Eachine goggles had a little bit taller sort of footprint here on your face. And for me, I prefer that because this one tends to not sit on my cheekbone as nicely. It's not terrible. It doesn't move around too much, but it does tend to sort of, on my face, angle down a little bit. So sometimes I need to make some adjustments to keep it on my face properly so I can see the screen. There's no focal length adjustment here on the side like you do see on some more expensive box goggles. But for me, I'm nearsighted and I don't have any, when I wear glasses, I don't have any issues focusing on the screen. Getting glasses in here, unless they're very narrow or short, not very tall, they're not going to fit inside here. So my glasses don't fit inside here. So if you do need additional focus help, you may need to have some sort of third-party solution or some sort of maybe 3D printed part, something to modify this to actually see the screen. Again, as with all goggles, it's all going to depend on how this thing fits and whether or not you can focus on the screen and see the image. Everyone's face and eyes are different, so your experience, is going to probably be different from mine. So as I mentioned before, it does come with an AV cable here for using DVR. If you want to use a DVR on the AV port here, so it's AV in and out, so you can do video in or video out. Now the pin out on this connector here is reversed from your typical 4-pin connector for AV in and out. Usually the ground is the first pin here, and then the second one is video. It's reversed. Video is the first one here, and then ground. So if you guys are having trouble figuring out why it's not working, that's why. If you use this connector and just obviously use the plug here to another cable, it'll work because this pin out here is correct for this one. It's obviously the one that comes in the box and matches. But if you're using some other type of a cable with another DVR, like I tried to use this DVR here, this one works because this one also has that same problem where the pin out is reversed on the ground and the video. So I was able to just plug this right in to the port here. And this one here has a built-in battery, so just turned it on and recorded video that way. So your DVR might be different, and depending on what cable you're using, just be aware of the pin out on the plug over here. It's video first and then ground here, and just make the appropriate adjustments. If you use the same cable here, basically they're matched up. And if you're using, like, say, a PowerPlay DVR or some other regular DVR, then you're going to have problems where the video isn't going to work. So the footage you're going to see in terms of the reception quality is going to be coming from this DVR. That's how I recorded the actual flight. All right, so I'm going to turn this on and give you guys a quick look at what the video quality is like. Okay, so here is what the video looks like. This is from the Tiny Pusher. I think it's a it's a Caddx EOS 2 camera. So pretty good lighting here inside, of course. But this is the actual screen itself. And it's fairly bright and clear. Of course, the camera's probably compensating with shutter speed and all that kind of stuff. But you can see what the image looks like. This is pretty much what you would be seeing. You can see the OSD elements over at the top there. Those don't go away and you can't remove them. If you bring up the menu here, you can just press the menu button and go through each of these items one by one, and then use the up and down buttons to adjust. So I'm going to increase the brightness here. You can see I'm at 65 here. And you can see the camera is making the adjustments as I adjust the brightness, so it's not really that noticeable on camera. I'm going to set that to 50 is the default here. It's pretty good brightness for me, so I just left everything pretty much default, and then the menu will disappear. And then if you're not on the right channel, you can press the auto search button, or you can just short press the band or the channel button here. So you can press the band button here, A, B, E, F, and R, so 5 bands, and of course 8 channels per band. So that's pretty much everything. And yeah, it's a nice little $45 to $50 goggle, depending upon coupon codes you might have. Might even be less. It's a good starter goggle if you don't need DVR. And if you do want to get a DVR, I can link some down below. I'm not sure if this one's still for sale or not. But then you can use something like the PowerPlay DVR as long as you make the adjustments on the video and ground signal on the cable and the plug here. You can get a DVR recordings to pretty much end DVR and get video out that way. So that's pretty much going to do it for this video. Here's a little bit of reception footage here from the DVR, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Okay, so I totally forgot about the giveaway. So basically, rules are going to be down in the description if you want a clearer explanation. So I'm going to give this one away here. Basically, the giveaway is going to be open for the first 3 hours of the video after it's been published, and then I'm going to select a winner. There's not going to be an announcement video to announce who won this or not. So basically, you have to pay attention to the replies that you get on your comments. So you just leave whatever comment you want. I don't really care. There's no specific criteria for the comment. Just leave a comment down below, saying that I want to enter the giveaway or whatever. And then I will reply to your comment if you've been selected as the winner. And they'll have instructions on how to contact me to claim the prize. And then in terms of like how to ship and stuff like that, just read the complete instructions down below. But basically, after the video has been out for 3 hours, I'm going to select the winner, and then the winner will be notified via reply to their comment, and the contest will be over. And then I'll just end up giving this away, whoever claims it. Now, if no one claims it, then if I select the winner and they don't claim the prize via the reply on their comment, then I will just give this away to one of my Patreons. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Talk to you later.